Okay, next I am putting on the top piece here, and all this is just a little piece that wraps around from the side all around and back to the other side. There's really no right way to do it, except basically what I've done was cut out a bunch of little triangles, and I would just lay it on there. I would lay it up on there, glue it, and then take my knife, take my razor blade, and just cut off the extra. So I would like stick it on there like that, and then run a blade across it, cut it, and then bevel it, and then work my way to the next piece, and then do the same thing, glue it down, cut it, and bevel it. You kind of have to do it as you're gluing it on. You can't pre-cut any of it because it fits. Every piece is really different. Like the piece here is not going to be the same as it is over there. Just this way it is. That was the last piece I did. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to end up taking, I have a straight edge, and I'm going to lay it on there and then use my blade, cut it, and then get the shape of it. And then if you have any kind of sanding block, it's really handy, because then once you cut it, if it doesn't cut a perfectly straight, smooth edge, you can take this and run it on there and sand it back and forth. And this blue stuff, this foam sands really good. Because like I said, it's not going to fit exactly right. It's going to be off just a little bit, but it works pretty good if you just cut it and sand it. And once it's all painted up, you won't be able to tell if it's off just by here anyway. So also when I get done getting all those pieces on there, I'm going to go over it with some putty. And see, I have a little bit of cracks right there. I'm going to fill that in with some putty, and then do all that before I paint it, just to fill in some of the imperfections on there. Alright, so here's the piece after I cut it. I just trimmed off that extra piece right there, and then sanded it down smooth. The tip, I just dropped the damn thing and broke the tip of it, so I might just cut the tip off and glue on a piece of foam and then cut it and shave it to it. But anyway, that's the end of that piece there. So now I'm going to start working on the bottom too. Alright, so anyway, I'm now working on the piece that goes along the back. What I did is I cut up another piece out. This is 2.5 inches, so I cut this one 2.5 inches. And basically what it's going to do, it doesn't go down here the way I did the other one. I'm going to copy the other one. So what it does, it just wraps around like here, stays in the same angle. And I think it looks kind of cool when I get it done, because then the other piece goes back there in the back. So anyway, what I did is I just held it up to here, and if you look on there, right this part here, you got the little line from the crease or the bend of the helmet. So what I did is made a little line, put my straight edge there, cut it, and that's how I got this angle here. So now it fits right there. It continues on. It fits and wraps around it also at the same time. Also, make sure you do bevel it. You see how I cut the little in an angle there, so that way when it wraps around, see when I curve it around, it fits there nice and snug. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and glue this piece on. I'm going to cut the back, and I'm going to do the rear piece also. Alright, now I got the piece glued on. Comes up, makes the bend, and it comes off right here again. I'm going to take my line, my straight edge, mark it, cut it with a... Okay, next I'm going to finish off the two pieces in the back. Still using 2.5 inch width strip. This one here, you're going to kind of have to do it as you're going along. What I did is cut a piece 4 inches long overall from the tip to this over here is 4 inches long. And I got something that was roughly a circle, almost the same size, and made a circle and then cut around it. I have the other piece to it. Here's the piece right here that I cut off of it. Save this piece because this is going to be the part that's going to connect back to it, except in a different angle. Anyway, alright, so that piece is going to go there along with the curve. I'm going to have to sand this and get a nice round smooth edge to it so it looks right. And then this other piece, the other piece that you cut off, is going to go along the bottom, and that's going to run straight down. Let's see, let me zoom out a little bit so you can see what it does. So that's where that piece is going to go. There, about like that, more or less. You can do that if you want, or you don't have to put it on all this stuff I added to it to kind of copy the way it looks on the movie or the game. So I'm going to add that piece to it there, and see how I'm going to have to trim it out a little bit up on top here to get it to work, but more or less it goes there. Okay, so here it is with the piece on there. comes up, wraps around, and then it curves and it goes down here. Right here I got a little gap. That's where I'm going to use some of the putty to cover that up. And the putty, all that stuff, I just got a real cheap bucket of, it's a real small little bucket of sheetrock mud. It's real lightweight, cheap, and it works good. Just rub it in there and sand it off, and it'll get rid of some of the marks. So if you look, here it is on the other side. And I have it on both of them, on the left side and then on the right. It's pretty easy. It just takes time, you know, just cutting out every piece and, you know, trying to fit it and stuff. And if you have the patience, though, it'll go pretty good. It's not really hard. Alright, so here it is with the little round rings cut out. I just have them pinned in there for right now because I'm going to go over it with some of the putty first and smooth out the little cracks and stuff before I glue it, because I got to put that in the putty in it, and I guess I'll let it dry overnight and then sand it, and then I can glue this on so it'll look like one piece. That's that piece right there. I just cut those out. Just had a styrofoam. Had a few people ask on some other videos how I cut my circles. Well, you could find something the shape that you're going to cut, trace it, cut it out with a razor blade. Just go around and cut it, which is a pain in the ass. Or I bought this here. It's a styrofoam hole cutter made by Foamworks, and I use the hell out of it because I'm always making something for either something for my airplanes or costume or whatever. And this thing's really handy. You can adjust the diameter or whatever. It gets pretty big, and all you do is just spin it and it'll cut a circle. I don't know if you can get an idea. If you can see it, it's kind of three-dimensional looking now, so it rises up a little bit, and it kind of gives it a like a, I don't know, makes it look like a hinge or something. I think it looks kind of cool, because before I was just going to do it without the little round circle. I thought it looked kind of neat since I raised it up. So anyway, that's that. That's all I'm going to do for tonight. I'm about to put some putty on it and just leave it at that and finish it off tomorrow. This right here is the stuff that I used, or that I'm going to use. This wallboard joint compound. You can use whatever you want, any kind of putty. I just got this here because it's really cheap and it dries pretty fast. So that's what I'm going to do next. And that's all for today.